Millennium Park, covering 24 acres directly east of the Loop in the heart of Chicago. It's an award-winning location for art, architecture, and design. Since 2004, Millennium Park has quickly become an iconic symbol of the city recognized the world over. Millennium Park is evolving as a masterpiece of urban infrastructure. It has steadily grown in value during conceptualization, design, and construction stages of development. Quality programming and excellent management are now catapulting the park to previously unpredictable levels of sensory and experiential stimulation, economic returns, social and cultural advancement, and environmental benefits. A group of researchers from Texas A&M and DePaul University wanted to know what the impact of Millennium Park has meant to Chicago and its residents.
In the past, real estate value has been measured by a spreadsheet or the financial value that it benefits, and that's a critical element. But there's a more holistic value that is generated through investments in urban areas.
We have recently begun to talk more broadly about the return to the community and to the stakeholders in the community. Dennis's book talks about social and cultural and sensory as well as environmental concerns, and so his notion of incorporating all of those becomes a part of the quadruple bottom line.
The principles of the book are to apply metrics to the value of good design. And I've always had the desire to research Millennium Park at a much more detailed level. Dr. Cannon was very interested in a combined joint effort between DePaul and Texas A&M to conduct the research.
Well, Dennis wanted to bring up two Texas A&M students, and we thought it might make sense for us to pair those with two of our DePaul students.
Each student researcher was given responsibility for one of the four facets of the quadruple bottom line and asked to study Millennium Park's value to the city of Chicago.
So Millennium Park generates social and cultural value, environmental value, economic value, and sensory value. The big question is, how do you measure that? That's what this research is about.
Moving beyond a traditional dollars and cents return on investment approach, the research team discovered social and cultural value added by the park.
In 2004, around 3 million people visited the park, and now in 2011, it's going to be over 5 million, which is roughly a 67% increase.
So it ramped up. It didn't go down. You know, it wasn't just a flash in the pan. The first year it's open, everyone wants to see it, and then the population goes down, but in this case it's going up.
All those people are families, children, you know, it's a neighborhood. And as a residential developer, I have to emphasize the importance of that. I mean, you want to feel like when you walk into the heritage or the legacy, you're going home. And one of the ways to feel like you're going home is as you walk down the street to your front door, you see people.
I think the thing that strikes me is the way that Chicagoans use this park. On any weekend day, there'll be wedding parties there. The notion that in the springtime now, students drive in from the suburbs so that they can come to the park and have their photographs taken. The way that on any summer afternoon, or really spring and fall, you find the children playing in the fountain. I don't think anybody really quite got that impact was going to be felt for the community that lives here.
The stories that we told had a lot to do with the economics of what it would do. It never did talk about it becoming the soul of the city or it bringing people together. That is something that I wish I'd known that it was going to do, but we didn't know that.
This is not a traditional park. It is in some ways a major art installation.
Certainly in Chicago there is no place that you can go free and get the very best other than a place like Millennium Park.
People come from all over the world to see Millennium Park and experience the art and architecture.
So we get governments coming, kings, princes, and princesses are visiting from all over the world because they've heard about the park and they want to see it.
I think it is a point of distinction that Chicago is providing the very best art and architecture and design the world has to offer free.
I mean, there's concerts, different exhibits going on throughout the year. You know, in the summertime, there's other exhibits. In the winter, ice sculpture exhibits. So it's pretty amazing what events are held at the park. I mean, 610 public events, free events in 2011. I mean, that's a staggering number.
Chicago is the only place in the world that has a classical orchestra playing in the park a full season free for all the people.
The park strives to be inclusive of the community, not just along social and economic lines by providing free programming and cultural events, but also in accessibility.
I think it's an obligation for architects to make sure that every aspect of the park is accessible, and to create what we consider universal accessibility. That means that if you're handicapped or you're able-bodied, the route you take to the park is the same route. There's not a special route for people with disabilities. And because of that, it's considered one of the most accessible parks in America, and the Paralyzed Veterans of America gave it a Barrier Free America Award.
But it's an example that many civic leaders could learn from and are learning from.
Despite the constant inflow of visitors, Millennium Park wants to be a good neighbor and does its part to reduce traffic and congestion.
The McDonald's Cycle Center is located on Randolph Street in the northeast corner of the park. It offers 300 parking spaces for bikes, 250 rental bikes, but it's important because it offers an alternative mode of transportation for commuters in the Chicagoland area, and it allows people to park their bikes somewhere and go to work.
It's clear that Millennium Park has become a cultural hub of the city of Chicago and is providing an abundance of social and cultural value.
But it is the greatest gift I think a city can give to its people.